Ladies and gentlemen, it's crunch time. Our test is tomorrow. We got this. We all got this, ladies and gentlemen. Well, one gentleman. Where you at, Alex? Where you at, Bura? Anyways, I'm gonna try to make this a speed run. I'm strictly gonna do muscles and nerves and substitutions. No palpation points, but we all got that down. Just refer to your anatomy notes. Use good common sense. All right, here we go. Shoulder flexion, anterior deltoid, and the coracobrachialis. Anterior deltoid axillary nerve, coracobrachialis musculocutaneous. Substitutions: shoulder abduction and external rotation, trunk extension, scapular elevation, and horizontal adduction. Shoulder extension: latissimus dorsi, teres major, and posterior deltoid. Latissimus dorsi, thoracodorsal. Posterior deltoid axillary teres major is the lower subscapular. Yes. Substitutions for this is shoulder abduction and anterior tilt of the scapula. Shoulder abduction is going to be the middle deltoid, axillary nerve, and the supraspinatus, suprascapular nerve. All right. Substitutions, without looking at my card, is going to be the biceps if the shoulder is able to externally rotate, and trunk lateral rotation is also going to be a substitution. Shoulder internal rotation: subscapularis, pectoralis major, and latissimus dorsi. Pectoralis major, anterior thoracic, subscapularis, subscapular nerve, and the latissimus dorsi, thoracodorsal. Excuse me. Substitutions for this is going to be forearm pronation and a upward tilt and abduction of the scapula. All right. Shoulder external rotation, all right, is going to be the teres minor and the infraspinatus. All right. Infraspinatus is the suprascapular nerve, and teres minor is the axillary. Substitutions for external rotation is going to be scapular adduction and downward rotation, and the triceps. All right. Oh, also, if you're in adducted external rotation, supination is going to be a substitution. Excuse me. I'm struggling there. Shoulder horizontal abduction is going to be the posterior deltoid axillary nerve and the infraspinatus, which is going to be the suprascapular. And substitutions is substitution, trunk rotation. Same substitution for shoulder horizontal adduction. Shoulder horizontal adduction is going to be the anterior deltoid, pectoralis major, and the coracobrachialis. Pectoralis major, anterior thoracic, latissimus dorsi. I'm sorry, latissimus dorsi isn't even one. Anterior deltoid, axillary, and what's the last one I said? Coracobrachialis musculocutaneous. As I said, substitutions, same as horizontal abduction. Adduction is going to be trunk rotation as a substitution. Elbow flexion, arm and supination, biceps, neutral forearm, brachioradialis, pronated forearm, brachialis. All right. Substitutions for these. Brachioradialis is the radial nerve, and biceps brachii and brachialis is the musculocutaneous. Substitutions for elbow flexion is the wrist flexors. All right. Elbow extension, triceps and the anconeus, which is going to be the radial nerve. Just remember your compartments. Anterior compartment, mostly going to be median nerve. Posterior compartment is mostly going to be the radial nerves. All right. So substitutions for elbow extension is shoulder external rotation. All right. Forearm pronation. All right. What's pronating the arm? Anterior compartment, median. Okay. Pronator teres and quadratus, median nerve. All right. Substitutions for forearm pronation are going to be the wrist and finger flexors. All right. Try to get that arm over. Forearm supination. What's going to supinate? Posterior compartment. Okay, the supinator muscle, radial nerve, plus biceps brachii, musculocutaneous. All right. Substitution for this is going to be the wrist and finger extensors. All right. Um, Wrist flexion. All right. Flexor carpi radialis ulnaris and palmaris longus. Where are we at, guys? Anterior compartment, median nerve, okay? Except for the flexor carpi ulnaris. That's the ulnar nerve, all right? Think about that. Don't memorize, all right? Shout out to Vincent. Um, okay, so wrist flexion, as I said, flexor carpi radialis and ulnaris. And longus, flexor carpi radialis and longus is median. The ulnaris is ulnar. Substitutions for wrist flexion is going to be the finger flexors, all right? Wrist extension. Where are we at, guys? Posterior compartment. All right. Flexor carpi radialis longus and brevis and ulnaris. All right. All three of those are going to be the radial nerve. All right. Substitutions for those are the finger extensors. All right. All makes sense, right? Okay. MP flexion. All right. Is going to be the lumbricals 1 and 2, which is the median nerve. 3 and 4 is going to be the ulnar, and the dorsal and palmar interosseous are also going to be the ulnar nerve. Okay. Substitutions for this, since it's all the intrinsic muscles, is going to be flexor digitorum profundus and superficialis. Substitutions. All right. MP extension. Extensor indicis communis and the extensor digiti minimi. I think I totally botched up the one, but you know, where are we at, guys? Extensor compartment, posterior. All right, we're going to be radial. Okay, radial for all of those. And for this is going to be, remember the tenodesis. Okay, so we have our MP extension. It's going to be a quick wrist flexion with tendon action. All right, for that passive motion of the extension of the fingers. Okay, so wrist flexion with tendon action is going to be the substitution. All right, PIP flexion right here. All right, flexor digitorum superficialis. All right, where are we at, guys? Anterior compartment. All right, median nerve. Okay, the flexor digitorum profundus, that deep one, is going to be a substitution for that PIP flexion. All right, DIP flexion, flexor digitorum profundus. Where are we at, guys? Anterior compartment. All right, median nerve plus, don't forget the ulnar nerve. I don't know how you're going to remember that one. Just remember the profundus is deeper. The tendons are going to run longer to operate those PIPs. All right, so median and ulnar. All right, so just remember that tenodesis. All right, we're at the DIP flexion. So a quick wrist extension with finger flexion is going to be a substitution for the DIP flexion. Okay, wrist extension with tendon action. Thumb MP extension. All right. Extensor pollicis brevis. All right, where are we at, guys? Posterior compartment, radial nerve. Okay, extensor pollicis longus is going to be substituting. All right, thumb IP extension, extensor pollicis longus. All right, where are we at, guys? Posterior. All right, radial nerve. And a quick contraction of the flexor pollicis longus. All right, so if you think about that tenodesis, all right, this is just how I process it. It might not make sense to anybody else, but we're at the IP joint here. Okay, so extensor pollicis longus, you know, not operating correctly. Flexor pollicis longus is going to kick in. All right, with a quick contraction. Thumb MP flexion, flexor pollicis brevis. Where are we at, guys? Anterior compartment. All right, median nerve plus the ulnar. How are we going to remember that? Just get it done. I don't know. So substitution, flexor pollicis longus. All right. Thumb IP flexion, flexor pollicis longus. Where are we at, guys? All right. Anterior compartment, median nerve. All right. And as the just like the extensor, all right, and the IP extensor is going to be the flexor pollicis longus. All right, with the flexion of the IP, substitution, extensor pollicis longus. Okay, So that's it, guys. I know it was really quick. It's probably not going to help anyone, and it's just going to mess everybody up because I just did it really quickly, and it was my thought process. However you do it, just get it done. You'll rock it out tomorrow. But if this is helpful to some people, awesome. All right. Take care, guys. Rock it out tomorrow. We got this. Let's do this. Let's finish up our last midterm, and let's take a breather for a couple days. All right, till we have to get on to the next stuff. All right, later.